Velcro and another blue one with a red Velcro.
So you got the green
So I have two battery,
packs in case the battery
two
runs
battery
out.
two power banks attached to the device. And now I'm removing this red cable that provides the device wall power, and you can see that it is red, which means it is not fully charged. The reason it is not fully charged is
Why?
because the battery,
It's
the
weak.
internal battery is weak or nearly dead.
Okay.
For that reason, when I take the internal battery out of the power line, you see it is red, which
Yeah,
means it's
solid
not fully
red.
charged.
Yeah, solid red.
I take the power bank
Yeah.
and I stick it in so to feed the empty battery with
Some-
external power.
So the-
And when I
so-
stick it in, it should come back and it says 100% charged, 12 hours to go,
Okay, so you have 12
which
hours.
is exaggerated. Now it says 5 hours. It doesn't last for 5 hours, and I'll be glad if it lasts even 2 or 3 hours.
Okay.
But this is not the problem. When you have two of them, then I can swap them
You can flip them.
and I can use the other one.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to put it on.
So you're going to put on the
And
head
notice
mount.
that I put on the head mount and it may not work right away. So I have to wait for it. But anyways, this is the viewer. I'm lowering the viewer,
You're putting the viewer in front of your eye.
and I realize that this is not turned on yet. So I press the on button, and now it comes back and it says 1% charged only,
Oh, wow.
because the internal battery is dead.
So will it...
So what it will have to do is I have to give it some time before I can start using it until it raises up to some amount. So I'm not going to try it even now. I know that it won't work.
Okay.
But aside from that, everything is working fine.
Okay, great. I'm going to put
So I'm ready to fold and to close everything. And later on, when it gains a little more power, I will use the head mount also. Repeat it, please.
You'll use the head mount once you get power. It has enough power to operate.
So now I'm ready to wrap it up.
And you put rubber bands on your phone.
I put rubber bands on the phone, and I'm shooting from my video glasses and also from my phone, and I'm waiting for the head mount to gain enough power so I can use that too. Because now it gains power from the external power bank.
Okay. Gains power from the power
Extend.
bank. So,
As I said, please.
so you have the power bank, and what are you trying to do now?
You see
Try
that
to...
it is red,
Yes.
which means it's not charged yet
Right.
enough to use it.
Right. It's not even
When
blinking.
it turns green,
Or
that
blinking.
means that it has enough charge.
Yeah.
And this is the on and off.
Yeah.
Also, another thing is I want to make sure that the battery is fully tucked.
Tucked in so it doesn't fall.
Then, so I push it inside
You.
to
Okay.
make sure that the power bank is
It sits well onto the...
fully socketed and won't fall in the middle off. And usually when it's charged enough, it will make some audible sound, so I will know, hey,
Turn it
maybe
on.
try to turn it on again. In the meantime,
Is your glasses
I want to
working?
Stop drum-tum-tum with no garbage, none. Now the mouse stopped. Sometimes the mouse stops working for some reason.
Because it has...
In other words, the cursor disappears. Because on USB ports,
You have
when
too many.
Windows 10 overloaded, it doesn't clean it the memory well. It loses the cursor, and also it may be that the battery in the mouse
Mouse
is
is not working well.
not the greatest.
Okay.
So I find the connection, I disconnect the mouse,
And then reconnect again?
wait a second, you heard the sound?
Yes, I heard
And
a bit.
reconnect it,
I heard it again.
and now check it again and hope that it will work, which it does.
Yes.
So at this point I'm ready to
Stop.
refresh.
Oh, you're not
or
stopping the recording?
Stop the recording of Pissar.exe.
So you stop PS problem step.
Say it again, stop the recording with Pissar.exe problem
stop.
step recorder executable.
So you stop the PSR.exe, the problem step recorder executable. You
Right?
stopped
And then I
it.
want to save it.
Now
So
you
I
want
click
to
the save button.
you see
I
save,
take the previous file name and click it and bring it down to the file name field.
and now you want to update it.
I want to update it, so I'm going to insert the cursor after the year 2024.
And put a letter.
2 clicks, and then put the letter A.
Start with the letter
This
A,
is like a poor man version control.
and then you want to change the
And
time.
then I want to change the time. The current time is 9:43. So I upgrade the 9:20 to 9.43.
You're changing the 2 to 4.
4:3, and also
What?
it says PM and it is AM. So I'm
Right.
going to change the P to an A.
A.
So it reads 9:10 a.m. dash 9:43 a.m., which is the range of time since I started, and then ZP for a zip file format, and the rest
It's
is the video
same.
file name, and it is redundant in terms of having the time and the date marked by the machine, so you can check the individual. The first time and date is entered by the individual, which is eventually will be done all automatically by an AI agent. But for now,
It's set.
the time and date is automatically done by the MSN Recorder Max.
When you first started.
So the auditor can compare the automatic time and date with my time and date and see the mistakes that I made. And then it has a .mpeg, which means a video file name. And then it has the title, which is Trash Branch Replaned. I misspelled, so I'm going to insert an E after the R. Replant Toenail Fungus Holistic Cures, Day 7 of 7.
Day 7 of
City
7.
Code Enforcement Compliance Yard Work, which is what I intend to do.
Okay.
And now I copied the path
You copy the
of
path from
Pessar.exe to the clipboard buffer
the top
from the top input field,
input field. Now you're going to the
then
file
I'm
name.
placing the cursor at the
the
first
file-
position of the file name field. It marks the entire field. Then I'm going to click it again
In the beginning,
and
what? Look,
paste the path.
and then you look for a blinking cursor.
So after that, I put in a backslash
So you know where
to
you are.
separate the path from the
7.
file name.
Now you want to copy the entire string.
So repeat, what is the backslash for?
The backslash is to show that that's the end of the file structure. Now
To
after that,
separate the path.
no, it's the end, and now
to
it's
separate
complete.
the path from the file name.
It's separating. It's showing you first the file path, then the last backslash shows you the file name is going to begin.
It's called separator in Windows terms. It's a separator that separates different segment of the file name. The first segment, for example, is C colon backslash, which means the root of the C drive.
Every slash goes down the hierarchy.
Then users backslash
There's another
is
subfolder.
is the path
No, it's a
for the
subfolder.
users.
It's a subfolder.
It's
Every-
a subfolder for the users. Then srush is
Is
a
an-
subfolder
folder.
for each individual user, which is this current user. And then documents is a subfolder for that one user. In addition to that, a subfolder of documents is Pessar.exe, which is a problem step recorder executable. Then the last backslash and then the file name.
And the file name is the last.
Now I review again, so I place the mouse on the first input field, click it to
click.
review it again and make sure it is copied properly to the last input field, and then click on the last input field.
So you're doing the last infill field, and you're going to copy it. You're going to do
Let's
right
review
click.
it again in slow-mo.
Well, you,
First of all, prom pum pum, no garbage.
I'm-
Just repeat.
I'm repeating.
Click
You-
on
yeah,
the first input field and
No.
mark it and review it.
First, click on the top of your screen. You see an input field because it's difficult for the
Okay, let's
user
go.
to. It's difficult for the user to see what is first and what
Here,
is
let's
second.
repeat
The
it.
top.
I click it and it marks it.
You click on the top under the basically under the folders, and you're going to click the path.
This is the Save As dialog box. First input field of the Save As dialog box.
It's on the
contains
top.
the path
It's on the
to
top.
the current directory.
It's the current
At the
directory.
top of the second line of the screen. The first line of the screen is Save As,
Sorry, ma'am.
which is the name of the dialog box.
The name of the dialog box is Save As. Underneath it is showing you the path. The path then is a folder. To the left is a picture of a
The
folder.
folder where I'm going to save the current file
File.
to or at.
And now you've clicked that, and now you're going to go down to the bottom of the screen where it says File Name.
I move the cursor to the bottom of the screen where there's another input field that is called File Name :
File Name : You're
and I
going to
left click on the mouth to mark the entire string.
on the mouse,
On the mouse.
not mouth.
Mouse.
Mouse. You're going to now, it's now highlighted, and now you're going to right click and copy it to
Now
the
I
buffer.
right click and then I select the
Copy function.
copy option
Right.
to copy to the clipboard buffer.
So it's copying it to the clipboard buffer. Now once it's copied, now you're going to save.
Now I'm going to click the save button
You're going to click the save button
and save it.
and save.
But before I continue, I want to review
You want to
additional details and see what step was the last step and how many steps this file
So you're going to
contains.
click on the review.
So I'm going to click on the
Review
the
additional
details.
You clicked on it. You're going to scroll up
And
a
now it
bit.
tells me the details and I'm reading the details. Everything looks good.
Okay.
Notice that there is the time and date here again. So we
Of the
can
recording.
reconciliate all the time and dates. One that the MSN Recorder Max produced,
One is the problem step recorder.
and the other one,
Each recorder has
Is
its
this-
own timestamp.
and now I'm scrolling up to see the last step,
Was
which is step number 1.
so you had one step. Okay.
So I have one step in this case.
And now you want to save it.
Now I want to start a new recording. I have saved it already.
Okay.
Start a new recording, and here's the proof that I saved it. I click on additional comments,
Additional comment.
and I'm going to paste the file name.
Under additional comments dialog box, you're going to paste the
Paste
last.
it in the highlight area and comment dialog box, and then hit return because
Now
it is
press
too
you're going to
narrow.
you're not going to hit anything. You're going to press the return
Press
key.
return
Return
to
key.
examine the path, and you can see that the path is c:/users /documents /psar.txt and / the file name, starting with the date and time and the day of the week, that is Saturday, and so on. So now that it looks okay, I click the OK button, and it continues
Recording.
to record, and it gives me the dialog box where I can pause the recording or stop the recording or add additional
So you know
comments.
you're recording.
Right, so now I want to paste the file name that I just created in my various notes.
So
Starting with the notepad, I go edit
and the
and
paste.
paste, and I got
And
it
enter.
pasted there with a couple of returns to separate it from
Couple of
earlier
enter
things.
keys.
File save, and then I want to go to WordPad and
Where?
repeat it.
WordPad.
So I'm clicking on WordPad.
It's the cursor is the
It takes time because the machine is overloaded.
yeah, it looks like it's overloaded.
And now I wait for it to finish the moving
It did.
of that to the front, and I go select the paste submenu and click paste, and then it pasted the new file name. I want to separate it from the rest by a few blank lines, and then click the
Save.
icon
Which
for
is
save, Control S, or the diskette icon. So I click it, and you can see the hourglass, meaning that it is saving it.
It passed the hourglass. There's no more hourglass.
Okay.
Now
So
what do you want to close?
So now that I'm done with it, I can start checking again my head mount and see if my head mount can start working already. Now it tells me that it is 12%
Okay. Great.
charged,
Great.
which may not be sufficient to start,
Right. You want to wait?
but I can try. I'm afraid it charged 12%, but
Well, just not very much. Why don't you
I
wait?
can try to turn it on, but it won't turn it on.
Okay.
It will just blinking
Right.
12%.
It's not enough.
So it's not enough. So I'm going to
Stop
play
Loom.
back Loom. So
No,
I
you're going to stop first.
stop it first,
Stop recording
then
Loom.
grab the URL of Loom. This is a cloud recorder to the memory, copy it into the clipboard buffer, and then I want to play it back to listen to it to see if it is good. So I'm clicking on the image,
Right.
and you can see that it takes a long time. It
takes
says
a long-
37 minutes ago,
Right.
which means that I took 37 minutes since I started. I'm going to let it finish, In the meantime, I'm going to paste the URL
Paste
in
the
my various notes and wait for it to come up. And now it came up. I can click on the play button
Click on the play button.
and play it back at
Play it
2.5 speed.
Play back at 2.5 speed. Okay, so it seems like it's working. Okay.
So then I want to add it to my notepad, edit, paste.
You're adding the Loom URL that it's being recorded in the Loom.
Right, and now I want to go edit, select
Edit.
all,
Select all.
then edit, copy to the clipboard
Clipboard.
buffer,
And you want to put it
and
in the,
add it as a comment. I
You
click
wanna
the
add-
comment button,
add
and
the
it
comment
stops the playback because it's good
of Loom.
of Loom, and now I paste the comment.
You place all your
as-
URL.
I paste my notepad content
Right.
as a comment, and then I look for the summary section
There's
in which I click on Add Summary.
You can add a summary.
And then right mouse click to paste
Paste
my
it.
notes again as a summary. And then I scroll down to the chapter
Chapter
section and
section.
click Add Chapter.
Or add
So I
chapters.
line up the finger of my cursor
You line up your cursor.
and press the
Add
Add.
button.
That produces a default of 3 chapters,
Chapter.
which I save.
You save your 3 chapters.
And then I want to add tags, so I click the Add Tags icon
Yes.
and I pull the tags. I have 3 tags.
Yeah.
First of all is lanyard,
Right.
which 33 videos means that I have 33 videos with this tag.
Right.
And I pop it in. The next one is going to be
badge. BADGE.
inspection.
Inspection is 27. Right.
So I click it in, and
And
finally the last
This
one is badge.
Right.
And this
Okay.
is enough for me for now.
Right.
So I can restore pages. I
No.
don't want to deal
No.
with anything here. Just put it down. I'm done with it.
Right. Now you
And
want
now I want to refresh Pissar. So I'll move my cursor again to the top of my notepad.
Yes. Stop
And I'm
recording.
going to stop record, press the stop record button, the save button, and then take the previous file name and increment it from version A to version B.
Right.
Save, right.
Now you're going to take your file name. You have your cursor on the file name field. You're going to go to version B, letter B. You're going to change the time. Now from 9:42, the time is now 9:56.
So 56.
6. And then everything else is the same. So now you're going to go to the top of the
Copied clipboard buffer.
and now you're going to go to the file
Place
name
the
field.
cursor right at the beginning of the file name input field.
And put the cursor at the very
Then it
front
marks the whole field.
but then you want
I
to
want to mark the cursor at the first position, so I click it again
paste
and right mouse click and paste
and put a
and follow
backslash.
it with the backslash separator.
You're separating the file structure to the file name.
Then I click the path
And
again
you're clicking the path one
review
time
it.
to review it, and then you're going to go down to the file name and click that entire
Then
one.
right mouse click and copy to the clipboard buffer and then save it. Then I want to examine the number of steps.
Steps, so you're going to
So
go
I
down,
click review additional details.
Click on it, and then go
Then
back
scroll up
and you'll see the
To
last
see that that was step number 59.
Wow.
And notice that every step has a time and date.
Right.
So, for example, this is 9/11, which means November 11, and
No,
9:55
that's
a.m.
It's 11/9, not 9/11.
11/9 means November 9th,
Right.
the year 2024, and
the time of
the
AM.
time is 9:55 and 42 seconds a.m.
was
And
your last
the
clip.
message is what the user did.
Right.
Is user left click on text editor edit in 4. And I can go up and see more steps.
That's right. We got
So
one.
now that I'm satisfied that that worked well, I'm starting, click
knew
the
it.
new recording,
You're doing a new
and
recording.
then click the add comment to paste the previous file name. Say that.
You're going to put whatever's in the buffer
Then
in the
suspend it
highlight, in your highlight area and comment. And now
Then I
you
press return
you press now return, and now you
to
press OK.
examine
File path.
the file path, which
the
was
file.
hidden. And now I click OK to continue the recording.
You clicked OK.
Now it's time to paste the file name in my notes. So I start
Yeah.
with the notepad,
You put it in your notepad, the
then
last
file save,
File save.
and now go back to the WordPad.
You're saving your notes in two places, in also the WordPad as well as the notepad, and
then
save
click
it.
the diskette icon,
Click
or
save.
Control S to
For
save
save
it
it.
again.
Okay.
Now it's not only in two places, it is much more than two places. What is it? And
It's also-
various format. This is using the algorithm grandfather, father, son of backup and recovery.
So you're looking at
So
the
let's
backup.
review again.
Yeah,
The
you're-
current one is a WordPad,
You have
and that is
WordPad.
an RTF file format.
The WordPad has a RTF file format when you save it natively, and your Notepad has a TXT.
Now I go to the notepad right on top of it, the next window, and I click on it,
and it has a.
and this is a TXT type of file, a plain text file.
So basically, Notepad saves natively all your text in a TXT file, and Notepad automatically natively saves it in RTF.
The reason that that is very important is because this is a basic, what is called ASCII type of file that all the devices can read and write. In contrast with RTF, which is WordPad, it's a proprietary format of Microsoft.
Right. But
that not all phones and all devices can read and write.
not all operating systems can read it accurately.
Read and write it, and so you need to have a reader and a writer, which is another problem.
Okay,
So
let's move on.
the notepad is the lowest common denominator.
Basically, TXT file format is the lowest common denominator without any special characters.
Right, and
It's
then
plain text.
and then I have
It's
Pissar,
it's what we call plain text.
plain text. Then I have Pissar problem step recorder that records everything in a zip format. So that is the third file format. Number 3, and,
So
and
step
a third
record-
file.
So the step recorder is recording in ZP or zip format versus the other two is recording in TXT and RTF. So you have basically 3 different file formats that are saved in different natively.
Right.
Okay.
Another thing that I stored in multiple folders. So the top one was stored in a special folder for toenail fungus. And now I want to store it also in my log subfolder. So I'm going to go File,
Save as.
Save As,
Look for your
then
log
navigate to
to
the
the log.
log subfolder off of the document
Document
subfolder. So
folder.
I'm going to scroll up
You have
to
to
the letter L and then click on log,
clicked on the subfolder called log.
then copy to the clipboard buffer.
Copy the clipboard button, and now you're going to the file name.
I go down to the file name field and
Wait,
click
wait.
one time to mark the entire string,
String,
then
and-
another time to position the cursor at the first,
But it's not highlighted.
at the very first field, and
But-
it is highlighted by a
no.
blinking cursor.
But this is not highlighted.
That means that once I click, right mouse click and paste, it will insert the path in the first position, followed by a backslash to separate the log path from the file name.
No, it didn't. But
Now,
it
one
didn't.
problem that I have is I don't have the date, so
No, the problem is that you didn't copy what was in your buffer. So you made a mistake.
back to my
No, no,
buffer.
You made a mistake in
I
your
can
buffer.
cancel
You made a mistake there.
and copy the
You have
entire
it in-
string,
You have it in your buffer.
edit, copy,
Right, and now go back again.
and then file save as,
Yes, right.
and
Nice,
paste
paste this.
the entire string.
And it was also not highlighted. The problem
Now I
was,
go back to the path of the log subfolder, which I should have copied to the clipboard buffer, but I
Right.
didn't,
no,
and scroll up to L.
Right.
I have K9, K,
here, stop here. One more, go down a little. L-O, go down.
here
Here,
is log.
yeah.
Then I copy the log path to the clipboard
Yeah,
buffer.
yeah, you copy it. Now put, see, now this
Then I mark the file
file
name field and click one more time
Right,
to position the cursor
right,
at the very
right,
beginning.
Right, now
And
you
then
say
paste
paste. And then
the log.
backslash.
the log file name path
right, and
followed
every-
by a backslash.
And now this is correct because it has
And
the
now I
right
want to
time.
review it yet again, so I'm clicking on the first input field, which is the log path, then the second input field, which is my string of log path plus the file name,
Right.
copy to the clipboard buffer, and then select save.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to paste it at the very top of the file, and that will be where I can identify the current file name, where it's
The most
located.
recent. The most recent.
Yes, edit, paste,
This is the most
and
recent.
file save. And the other one also,
You
I
want to put
like
it?
to save it also to the log folder.
Okay.
So I'm going to paste it first, but then I'm going to insert, instead of zip, I made a mistake, I should have changed the zip to text, but I didn't, so now I'm going to change it to RTF.
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 And now save.
Now copied again to the clipboard buffer, but my
Your cursor.
mouse died.
Right.
So I'm going to take it out
And
and reinsert it, no
and-
garbage.
And let me make another note here that when you go through this process, somebody's saying this is taking you over an hour just to do this.
That is fine. That will be done automatically later on by
want
the
to
AI.
tell you want to be able to tell people that this will be done automatically. That nobody wants to sit there for an hour just
File.
to prepare.
Save as.
This is just what you're trying to teach the bot to be able to do.
Right, to train the
Bot.
AI.
To train the bot.
And now I have to
What are you doing?
save it with RTF format in the log subfolder. So click save. And now I saved it there. You understand? And save it again just to be sure.
Okay. What?
Now I go back to my head mount to see maybe now it filled up enough so it can work.
What does it say?
So I'm clicking it. Now it's 27%,
We should turn on with 27%.
but it may not be enough to turn it on. I'll
Okay.
try,
Try it.
but it doesn't turn on yet, which means
Okay.
that it may not be
Yeah,
enough.
okay.
Oh, now it turned on. So now it is booting
Right.
with the
27,
logo.
27%. Let's continue while it boots out.
So I
Let's
don't
go.
want to continue. I want to start a new clip. So to show how,
You want to stop the recordings, I thought. That was the purpose of shutting
when you
down.
hear the noise,
Yeah, I heard some swishing sound.
yeah, so that means that it started. I'll leave it the same because I don't want to,
Right.
I
That's
don't want to have long enough files that
Right.
when I convert them to podcasts, you heard the sound?
Yeah, yes.
So it sounds. Now I'm going to start talking to it and tell it to go to my camera. So it goes to my camera
Folder.
submenu, folder, and now I want to start recording. So I'm going to tell it, record video.
And you heard the click.
And I hear the click and I see the counter. And then I want to turn on the flash. Flash on. And it tells
Yeah.
me that the flash is off.
Now do it again.
So I'm going to do it again. Flash on. Flash on. Now we turn the
on.
flash. Sometimes you have to tell it a few times.
It's your intonation too. That sometimes has
So
the
why
issue.
don't you say it?
Flash off. Flash off.
The second.
Flash on.
Okay, the intonation sometimes makes it difficult. Anyways, at this point,
Let's shut down the other
I'm ready
recordings.
to shut one of the other recording and test it. So I'm going to start from Cyberlink
Cyberlink.
UCam and press this
Stop
blue button,
The stop button.
the stop button, but I want to raise it because when you press the stop button, it will create a new subfolder. So I want to show it. I place the cursor, it says stop capturing video F3.
Right, you could use
And I
the
press it and wait for it to
render.
render. And now double click it to play back.
And this is your captured
Now I
video.
want to lower it.
Okay, it worked fine.
Just keeping the square white button, that means that it is recorded.
Now you're saving your Pixar. And it's playing back what you recorded in the Cyberlink.
Now it works.
Let me get my water.
When it's watching, it will rotors? Right. So I went